Greetings, exiles. The trading league is dead, and that means it's time for a solo self-found journey. I had an idea to make an armor stacker in a SSF league. Pretty weird and bold idea, but I think it could be an interesting challenge. Since I've never played on such a build, I decided to yoink the build from this guy. He has a lot of useful information about Armour Stacker on his channel, and I thought this would be a good starting point. First of all, let's decide on our ascendancy. Scion is the best choice. But gathering gear for it as a fresh start on the SSF League is an unrealistic task. Which leaves these two guys. I already have a video on my channel about the Chieftain in this league, so I decided not to repeat myself and choose Juggernaut. Next, we need to decide on our main skill. I don't like Shield Crush and Molten Strike, so there are only two options left. Initially, I wanted to choose Lightning Strike, but frankly I'm sick of it, so it's time for Smite. Also, this skill is available to us from level 1, and that's a pretty big advantage because we don't have to swap afterwards. I had some misgivings about Smite and was afraid it would be crap in the axe. But the melee buff is real and Smite feels very strong. So I completed the campaign without any problems. Get up, lazy exile. No time to rest because we have a lot of work ahead of us. We've got to make you a hero. Armor Stacker on the SSF is no joke, and I need a good plan, so let's look at the POB and analyze what items I need first and what I need to do for that. Replica Dreamfeather is a key item for us and can be found in Heist. Not the most fun mechanics, but luckily it's a pretty common item, and I'm hoping I'll find 2 copies of this sword quickly. The helmet is also an important piece of gear and can be found in Breach. To be honest, I don't know its drop rate, but I expect that I will need no more than 20 Breach Stones. Not the biggest grind, to be honest. The unique amulet can be found in Delve, and it drops from the Delve boss. And this is where I run into my first problem. It's a pretty important item for us, but to find it I may need a lot of time, and most importantly, I will need a strong character. I will certainly try Delve, but most likely I will skip this amulet in my starting build. As you can see, in order to collect the starting gear I need to interact with different mechanics, and as for me it is quite interesting because the journey will not be monotonous. But in order to get all these items quickly and efficiently, I need a good and optimal atlas. After a bit of thinking and analyzing the mechanics that I need, I made this atlas. It has Breach, Heist, and Nico for Delve and Blue Altars for Eldritch Currency and Screaming Invitations, because that's where I can find Melding of the Flesh. Although to tell the truth, I will leave this unique jewel for later because it's 1 in 50 chance to drop and it will be a very long grind, which I will definitely do, but as an armor stacker with some good gear. Boots and the belt are other unique items for this build, and it's a global drop. I won't have a problem with boots because it's T3 and I'll find them eventually, but the belt is a pretty rare drop and it'll be a skip for me. I'll try to replace it with some rare belt. Rings, body armor, and gloves are rare items, and most likely it will be ROG from Expedition or Recombinators. Also, I need a lot of clusters. 3 large and 6 small with mana reservation efficiency. I will need Delirium for that. Getting these clusters will be quite easy, but crafting them will be difficult. So I'll start by crafting something simple that I can use right away, and then I'll craft good clusters. For Glorious Vanity, I'll need a Legion. I need any with Zabaqua, and that's another piece of gear I'll get pretty quickly. Well, I won't bore you with my plan anymore, especially since I've already covered the most important parts, but before I get to the realization of this grand plan, I need to finish most of the atlas, get my first Void Stones, and most importantly, I need some gear to realize everything I have planned. So I'll start with a basic atlas with Expedition because ROG is the best friend of every exile on SSF. It's a pretty good sword. Almost 700 elemental DPS. Pretty good for a starter. Some random boots. Good tink. Before the quest boss battle, my character looked like this. Nice sword from ROG. Pretty cool armor that I got from shipment. And a helmet like this. Quite an odd choice, you might say. But in combination with iron, well, this helmet gives me a lot of damage, and it looks like I will start this journey as a scuffed strength stacker. Well, why not? The first void stones are mine, and now the real journey begins. Thanks to this atlas, I got a lot of blueprints and some breach stones, so let's test our luck and see if we can get the first pieces of our gear. Let's start with the heist. Here comes the first sword. That was pretty fast. Nice stick. And another one. Wow. It's a pretty rare drop, and even though I don't need it for my build, it's still a nice find. What have we got here? A very, very rare drop that I found for less than 50 wings. Perhaps some of my viewers have already paused this video and went to post angry comments about my luck. But don't be in a hurry. All the most interesting things are still to come. And here is the second sword. I also found this armor. Initially, I didn't plan to use it, but if I found this unique item, why not use it? I'm done with heist for now, and it's time for breach stones. Ten breach stones are done, but I couldn't find the item I was looking for. Back to the grind. And some more breach stones. Cool. I thought breach prison would be a long-term thing. But don't get too excited. Now I need clusters, and that means it's time for a new atlas. Delirium for clusters and ritual for some lucky drops. Don't forget that you can trade 5 clusters for 1 random cluster. This allows us to get the clusters we want much faster. 3 large and 6 small. Just what I need. Alteration hell. And some chaos spam. As I said before, these will be basic clusters. I just need something I can use in my starter build. Pretty mediocre clusters, but they're good enough to start with. Now let's go underground. We need to do some mining. Delve is a pretty rare mechanic in my journeys because most of the time it's useless. But I need this amulet, and Delve is the only place I can find it. Wow. There's a lot of good loot underground, and to be honest, I wasn't expecting to hear Tink here. But I didn't come here for divine orbs. I need this boss right here. Nice. The amulet I need. Lucky. Oh no. Unfortunately, it's a miss for me because it's a useless aura. In fact, my build is suitable for many auras that can be on this amulet, but unfortunately this time I was unlucky. But you can't win all the time, right? I gave Delve a chance, but unfortunately I couldn't get the right amulet. I can't waste any more time here, and it's time to go back to the maps, but I will definitely come back here and I will get the amulet I need. In the meantime, I will make this amulet as a temporary solution. Now I need 6 links, and I thought Einhar would help me with that. I was hoping to find some of the Black Morrigan, but after 50 maps with scarabs, I still haven't found this mystical beast. Unfortunately. So I went to the Syndicate. It never lets me down. It always works. And of course, the ritual. Another reliable mechanic. Hopefully this in combination with split beasts will completely solve my problems with 6 links. If I've already checked out the Syndicate, let's visit my friend Gravicious. Scam. Not bad. Cool. I need Enlighten support or Empower. I got it. Next time for sure. Nice try Gravicious, but I won't waste valuable harvest juice on gambling. I will take this bait. It's time to gamble. That was lucky. It could have been a lot worse, and I could have spent a lot of my life force on the same result. Sometimes lucky. Some oils for my amulet. And of course Legion. Three timeless jewels, but unfortunately without the Zabaqua. Let's fix that quickly. Nice. Speaking of Smite, it's a very good skill and I didn't regret my choice. Even without Armour Stacker we have pretty good damage considering that I have pretty mediocre SSF gear. And Vol Smite is the absolute bomb. Full screen clear. Very satisfying. But the Juggernaut disappointed me a bit. After the developers nerfed this node it feels very weak. And if I hadn't made the video I would rather start as a Chieftain, and when I had the proper gear I would just switch Ascendancy. That would have saved quite a bit of my time. But this journey I wanted to start as a Smite Juggernaut and also finish it as well. That's my way. Cool belt from Rog. And gloves. Wow. Just what I need. Alright. Almost all the gear I need is done. But I'm missing one piece. Those damn boots. I said at the beginning of the video that finding them would be easy, but unfortunately the game has its own plans. As you may have noticed this video is late and that's because I've been looking for these boots for the last 4 days. That sounds silly. But I've tried different strategies and atlases, but all without results. The funny thing is that I found this belt, even though it is a rarer item than the boots. Also, my Atlas runner brought me a whole mirror. But who cares about the mirror on the SSF when I want simple boots? And this is a good time for your comments. But these stupid boots are a rarer drop than a mirror and it's absurd. I tried Rogue Exiles. But unfortunately I ran out of scarabs and had to give up on that strategy. I tried Legion. And Abyss with Meticulous Appraiser. I even got so desperate I decided to try Harbingers and Ancient Orbs. But that's a miss for me too. Maybe this guy has my boots. Nope. And they're not here. But it finally happened. When I found March of the Legion, I was so excited as if I had found Mageblood. Now it's definitely over. It's time for the swap. This is the kind of entry-level armor stacker I got. 267,000 armor without flasks and almost 450,000 armor with flasks. Pretty humble numbers, but this is just the beginning and there are many more improvements to come. Now let's test what I got. Quite modest results, and it's hard to call it a strong build, to be honest. But I want to remind you that this is a starting build and I have a lot of upgrades ahead of me. And my main goal was to make an armor stacker build as soon as possible, and already on this build continue to gather the necessary items and gradually improve my build. And I think my current build will do the job. We have damage and some defense. My next plans are to find this amulet with the right aura for me, because it is a very big upgrade for this build. Solve the problems with energy shield because it is very scarce, and because of this sometimes it is not comfortable to play. Ideally give up Eternal Blessing because activating aura every 17 seconds is not the best gaming experience. Make good clusters. Solve the problem with the sockets colors on the armor because at the moment I am using not very optimal support gems. I need 6 off-color sockets and it's a pretty big problem. Find an enlightened support. Melding of the flesh for more defense. 2 more levels. Find more of these unique items for double corruption. As you can see, there is still a lot of work to do, but it will all be in part 2. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. Thank you all for watching and commenting. I appreciate it. Also, I will be very grateful for your likes and subscription. Bye everyone, and see you in the new video.